Hi guys, it's Femi here. Today is Monday, October 5th, and I just had a vision, guys. As I was sleeping, I wasn't in deep sleep because I was like listening to worship music. I wasn't in deep sleep, and I was still trying to like fall into deep sleep, but I was listening to worship music and I had done some Bible study reading the book of Proverbs. So trying to sleep and just listening to the music. And so like my eyes, like, cause I wasn't sleeping, like my eyes were like half awake. Like, it's the strangest thing. Suddenly I had a vision that suddenly I could see, like I was in the midst of a sea, and the sea was like raging, and the waters were rising and rising. All of a sudden my head turned. I don't know, I can't say north, south, east, west because I just couldn't tell in the vision. But my head turned, and by the way, when the waters were raging, I could hear the sound, I could feel the winds. Like, it was literally like an out of body experience that I could see and feel. Like, the vision was like all my visions, I can feel everything, but at the same time I was still conscious that I'm lying on my bed about like trying to sleep. So it's just it's just strange. So as my head turned, I saw the sun shining like it was daytime, and guys, I saw Noah's ark. Like, like how Ken Ham reconstructed the ark of Noah, and they did it according to the biblical proportions and everything. It looked exactly like that, guys. I saw Noah ark, the wooden ark, Gotham wood, I think. So when I saw the ark, I was immediately in a speedboat, and once I was in the speedboat, I was lying on the speedboat. Like, in my spirit, I just felt like I was like a weary soldier or something. Like, either I was weary or I was injured. Like, I was lying down in the speedboat, and I was the only one in the speedboat, and it was a white speedboat with the engine. It was speeding, and as it was speeding, it was dodging because, like I said, the seas were rising, and it was like, I don't know if it was rising to attack me or just like I was like, what's happening? Am I in Noah's Ark? Like, what's happening? I was conscious of everything. I said, that is Noah's Ark. And the speedboat, like, the speedboat was like dodging every time. Like, the waters raised up, it was almost as if it would enter the speedboat, because it was a small speedboat, very modest, but it was white and it could only fit one person. But it was speeding and it was dodging. Like, none of the waters, no matter how high the waters rose, it didn't enter, not a drop entered the speedboat. And in my spirit, I just felt like the speedboat was Jesus, and the speedboat was guiding me to the ark. And guys, it was speeding to the ark. Like, the ark was built, like it was done, it was ready, and the speedboat was carrying me there. And I remember I was trying to move my right arm because the way I was lying on my bed, and having like my right arm was spread out. So in the vision, my right arm was like over the boat, and because I could feel the wind and everything, like I was cold, I was like, it's my hand, I don't want my hand to touch the water. So I was trying to I didn't want the waters to like get to my right arm. So it was almost like I don't know if it was fear. I don't think it was fear. Like, it was more like concern. Like, I don't want water to touch my arm. But it was like I was so weary or so injured. I don't know. I couldn't move my arm. I couldn't move. But nevertheless, the speedboat was carrying me to the ark. And even though I was lying straight down on the speedboat, to the point where like my face was like up on the boat, I could tell my position. But because it was a vision, I could still see. I could see all the flood. I could see that was the speedboat, and I could see the ark, and I could see that I was heading to the ark, and the ark was ready. And I could see that the speedboat was like dodging as the seas were running, the roaring. Sorry, the waters were high. I was like, what's happening? And now it's just the strangest thing, because as I was like, what's happening? I also remember that I just had a rapture dream that that in the video I made, I used the image and the imagery as I was describing, Jesus being the ark of safety spiritually for us, like our escape plan being the rapture, and everybody should just get into the spiritual ark now before the rapture happens. Like all these things. I was conscious of it, and I was remembering. I was like, why am I suddenly having an open vision of ark when I was speaking about the ark a few days? And this was a vision, guys. Like, I can tell when I'm having a dream, I'm having a vision. Like this vision, I was half awake, and I was an open vision. I could see everything clearly, and I could feel it. My spirit, like, only God knows, like, how. I can't even really explain it, because like if you haven't experienced like a vision from God, like, you can't really explain it. And it was just intense. Because I was trying to move my right arm. I couldn't move it, but at the same time, it's like my spirit was calm, like, don't worry about your arm, like, you're getting to safety. I could just see the ark, and I was just shook, like, oh, the ark. Like, I was saying this thing, like, to encourage my brother, like, get into the ark and everything, like, the rapture was so happy. And then I now have a vision, like, for real, the spiritual ark is here. Like, the ark is ready. It is ready. And Jesus being the speedboat, because salvation is individual, right? Like, you cannot get saved on behalf of another person, which is why I believe that the speedboat represented my own relationship with Jesus, because everybody has to walk the narrow road and get to the ark individually. Like, you cannot get saved on behalf of like your family member, your loved one, or a stranger, right? Salvation is an individual thing. Everybody has to make the choice, to accept Christ. So it's like, it's an individual thing. It was intense, and it was also fascinating, and it was just like, I was just shook. I was just like, okay, the ark is ready. I was saying it in my last video. I was like, the archangel is ready, Jesus is ready. And even when I had my first vision, like in 2008, I had the vision about the days of Noah, which you guys can see, like, when you watch my playlist. Like, if you see my dreams playlist, the first video, my first three visions, my three visions, but it's actually the first three visions I ever had. 2008, the year I got saved. I talked about God showing me, like, I was in the air, God showing me the scenes of the days of Noah, like what people, but I didn't actually see the ark. I just saw the people there. They were just like, some were like washing their clothes, some were like drinking and having a laugh. They were like having a good time. They were just doing different things. And the flood, they could not see the flood, because it's like their spiritual eyes were closed or so, and there was a flood coming and rising, like the head was like a mighty flood that as I was watching it, I was getting scared. But God did not let the spirit of fear like take a hold of me, because it's like his presence was there to calm me down. But I saw it, and it was a very scary scene, like the fact that the flood was about to consume them or overpower them, and they could not see it. They could not see it, and I was not able to shout, like, run away, guys, there's a flood. It was in front of them, but they could not see the danger, the looming danger. So, but I didn't see the ark in that dream. I didn't see no one, nothing. And in this ark, because the ark was like, how will I say meters? I don't know. Because as the speedboat was turning, it was like, I could see the ark, but it was at a distance, but I could see it. It was at a short distance. I don't know if the distance is short, because the speedboat was speeding and it was getting closer. But when it started off, the ark, it looked because it was at a distance, it looked I couldn't see it clearly at first, but as the speedboat was getting closer, I saw how big it was, and it was like, as soon as I saw it, what I saw was exactly what Ken Ham built.
This modern marvel is 510 feet long, 85 feet wide, and 51 feet tall. Each of the ark's decks offers a glimpse into what life was like for Noah and his family.
And I was shook because, people, comment on his video like, oh, the ark probably didn't look like this, blah blah blah. But him and his team, they specifically followed the biblical proportions given in the book of Genesis. And guys, I'm telling you, that is the ark I saw. That is the full. As the speedboat was getting closer, I saw how big the ark is.
The end of all flesh has come before me. For the earth is filled with violence through them. And every living thing that I have made, I will blot out from the face of the ground. But I will establish my covenant with you. Make yourself an ark, and this is how you shall make it. The length of the ark shall be 100 cubits. Go into the ark, you and your whole family, because I have found you righteous.
I saw that exact ark, and it was huge, like guys, I'm telling you. And of course, when I woke up from the vision, I was shook, but the same urgency, like this world, number one, this world is not as it seems. As things are seemingly happening and people are getting distracted, is the word, by politics, entertainment, whatever it is. Prophecy is unfolding. Prophecy, because prophecy is according to God's will, right? And he has given us the times and seasons to discern the nearness of his appearance. You see, and only the 5 wise virgins are watching. Remember, there are 10 virgins. 5 had their lamps filled with oil, and they were watching, waiting for their bridegroom. 5 weren't. So make sure your lamps are filled with oil, and you're watching and waiting for your bridegroom, because I'm telling you, the ark is ready. Jesus is ready. He is coming at any time. He's coming soon. And that urgency that he is coming soon. He's our lifeboat. He's our rear guard. He's literally our lifeline spiritually. We were all dead, and in Christ we're alive. We're alive in Christ. So he is our lifeline, and he's the one that will take us to safety, literally, spiritually, every way. He will take us to safety. So yeah, that's it from me, guys. God bless you all. Stay strong in the faith. I know, like, many of you guys are weary, but just remember that the battle belongs to the Lord, and he has won the victory. So you are victorious in Christ, you are overcomers in Christ, and you are more than conquerors in Christ. Continue to overcome by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of your testimony, as it is written in Revelation 12:11. God is faithful. He will help you in every area of weakness. Keep looking up and know that your redemption draws nigh. God bless you all. Love you all in Christ. Hope you have a blessed day. Bye.